The wind swept across the open plains of western Orelon province, carrying with it the dry heat of the harmattan season. Dust spiraled into the air like restless spirits rising from the red earth. Beneath the fading glow of the sun, the ground shook, not from a coming storm, but from the pounding hooves of armored horses cutting across the land. At the head of the formation rode a man whose reputation traveled farther than the reach of any empire. His name alone made chiefs whisper and colonial authorities shift uneasily in their seats. He was General Udoka Tira, commander of the Crimson Legion. Tall, broad-chested, and carved like a warrior molded by the ancestors, Udoka rode with firm, controlled grace. His short black hair, low military cut, dark brown skin, intelligent eyes, and his colonial-era officer's armor, dark steel with crimson identifiers, glimmered in the orange dusk. In his eyes burned the loyalty of a man who fought only for truth, justice, and the protection of his people. Every soldier behind him trusted him enough to die for him, and he, in turn, would bleed until his last breath for them. He was single by choice, married to duty, not desire. His heart belonged to the weight of leadership, not the unpredictable storms of love. Tonight, he rode towards justice, towards vengeance, towards the man whose cruelty had terrified entire villages. The enemy was the ruthless warlord turned political tyrant, Lord Madu, a man feared across provinces for brutality, extortion, and ritual violence. Those who opposed him disappeared. Entire communities lived under his shadow. Yet, locked deep within his compound was the one soul he had not broken, Lady Tara Madu, his stepsister. Tara, whose spirit defied him. Tara, who challenged his violence. Tara, who was beaten, imprisoned, and silenced because she refused to join his wickedness. She alone dared speak against him. She alone held a courage that matched the fire of soldiers, and she alone would change the fate of the man who believed nothing could ever move him. Udoka reached the outskirts of Lord Madu's fortified residence by dawn. The sun's first light pulled over the compound walls, revealing a structure built of stone, steel, and fear. Udoka raised his hand, and 12,000 disciplined colonial-era trained soldiers stopped in unison. Tonight, Udoka said, his voice firm and deep, we end Madu for our people, for our fallen, for the future of this land. A thunderous roar answered him, powerful and unified. That night, like a shadow falling over history, the Crimson Legion attacked. Flames climbed toward the sky, gunshots echoed, swords clashed, horses charged, war cries filled the air. Udoka fought like a man shaped by war, precise, unstoppable. His sword and colonial rifle walked in perfect tandem, every swing and shot a death sentence for those who stood against justice. Inside, chaos swallowed the compound. Servants fled, walls cracked, men screamed, and at the height of battle, Udoka confronted Lord Madu in the great hall amid fire and falling debris. The tyrant fought fiercely, but fell beneath the blade of Orelon's greatest warrior. The enemy was defeated. The war was over. Or so Udoka believed. He moved through smoke-filled corridors until he reached a door secured with heavy chains. Something, instinct or destiny, pulled him toward it. With one swift strike, he broke the locks. Inside was not a soldier, not a criminal, but a woman. A young woman with tangled chestnut hair, her light brown Nigerian skin covered in bruises and chain marks. Her eyes, sharp, courageous, unbroken, met his with defiance instead of fear. She did not scream. She did not beg. She simply stood tall, even in her suffering. "Are you here to kill me?" she asked softly. Udoka, usually unshaken, felt something shift inside him. "No," he said, lowering his sword. "Who are you?" "I am Tara," she whispered. "Tara Madu, his stepsister and his prisoner." He had seen beauty. He had seen strength, but never like this. "Come," Udoka said. "You are not dying here." She hesitated. "Your people will kill me when they learn whose blood I carry." "Not while I live," he said, and he meant it.
When Udoka returned home with Tara hidden under his protection, the entire region erupted in anger. "A traitor! A spy! She carries the blood of the devil who ruined us. General, you dishonor your people." Councils demanded her execution. Nobles called for Udoka's removal. His own soldiers questioned his sanity. Udoka stood firm. "Harm her," he said, his voice cold as steel, "and you challenge me." Shocked silence filled the council chamber. "General," the colonial high chancellor warned, "you cannot protect the sister of a tyrant. You cannot bring her into Orilon, and certainly not into your home." Udoka stepped forward. "My home is where she will be." A soldier spat. "You would fight your own people for her?" Udoka's jaw tightened. "I would fight the world." Tara remained under his protection, and thus began his hardest war. Slowly, Tara healed. She learned to walk without fear. She tended flowers in Udoka's courtyard. She hummed softly under the morning sun. Udoka watched her every day, not out of desire, but out of awe. She was stronger than she looked, braver than anyone knew, more resilient than any soldier he had trained. One evening, as the sun painted the sky gold, she touched the petals of a blooming lotus. She murmured, "They grow in mud, yet they rise clean." Udoka felt something dangerous stirring inside him, something he had spent his whole life avoiding. Their eyes met and the world stilled. But peace shattered quickly. Rumors spread that soldiers planned to drag Tara away by force. Angry villagers threw stones at Udoka's estate. Councillors plotted to overthrow him. One night, Tara stood before him, tears in her eyes. "You cannot fight your whole people because of me," she whispered. Udoka stepped closer. "I do not fight them because of you. I fight them because they are wrong. And if they force you to choose, I already have." Her heart broke and healed at the same time. The breaking point came when councillors and soldiers tried to seize Tara in the middle of the night. Udoka intercepted them in the courtyard, sword drawn. "You will not touch her. She is an enemy," someone shouted. "She is my wife," Udoka said. Silence. Tara gasped. Udoka turned to her, eyes softening. "Marry me," he whispered. "Not because they force us, but because it is the only way to protect you, and because I cannot lose you." Her tears fell freely. "Yes," she breathed. Within 2 weeks, under the suspicious eyes of an entire region, General Udoka Kira married Lady Tara Madu. But marriage did not end their battles. Assassins tried to attack Tara. Poisons were slipped into Udoka's meals. Threats flooded their home. People insulted her in the streets. Still, they endured together. Love came to Udoka slowly, painfully, unexpectedly. But once it came, it rooted itself deep and unshakable. Tara found healing in his unwavering protection. For the first time, she felt safe, valued, seen. In time, the people saw her kindness. Children smiled at her. Women sought her advice. Soldiers defended her with their lives. Hatred softened. Udoka had fought wars for his kingdom, but he fought harder for the woman he loved. And in the end, he defied every sword raised against her. Years later, minstrels would sing of the general who conquered nations but surrendered his heart to a woman the world told him he should never love. They would sing of the warrior who chose truth over tradition
and love over fear. In the end, it was not war that made Udoka Kira legendary. It was love.